Now on 4 News Now at 6, the process to close the Department of Education is underway.
We're going to be returning education very simply back to the states where it belongs.
What this could mean for programs in our area that depend on the department for funding.
In the higher elevations, we're now returning to winter weather, but it's going to be full-on spring here. We've got some nice changes for the weekend. I'll have those details coming your way.
Plus, the 8th-seeded Zags are gearing up for the second round of the NCAA tournament. We have a preview of tomorrow's matchup with top-seeded Houston. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
By this time tomorrow, 8th-seeded Gonzaga will be in the middle of their second-round matchup against top-seeded Houston. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. It's not going to be an easy task, as both head coaches are among the best in the game. Sports director Jack Wallace joins us now with just how close the relationship is between the Cougars and Zags head coaches.
Well, Kelvin Sampson and Mark Few are the cream of the crop when it comes to collegiate basketball, both masters of their game, elevating their programs to among the best in the country. But it's an unusual matchup then for so early in the NCAA tournament. Houston earned the nation's #1 scoring defense this year through Sampson's great coaching, leading the Cougars to the second highest win percentage in the nation over the last 7 seasons, with only the Zags winning more. Sampson started his coaching career at Montana State and began his Division I career leading Washington State for almost a decade. He remarked on his close friend Gonzaga coach Mark Few and how much their relationship means to him.
He's not one of the best coaches in our game. He's one of the best coaches our game has ever seen. You know, Mark is a Hall of Famer, not just Hall of Fame coach. He's Hall of Fame everything: father, husband, friend. He's one of those guys that makes our profession look good. Mark's a great guy.
This game marks the first ever meeting between Gonzaga and Houston, but Sampson last played against Few Zags in 2007 when he was with Indiana. That was a first-round NCAA tournament loss. And while not meeting Big 12 newcomer Houston before, the Zags performed pretty well against the conference. They've won 4 of their last 5 meetings and 2 of 3 this season, beating Baylor back in November. Bears advanced to the second round with a win earlier today over Mississippi State. Tip-off for this one in Wichita tomorrow at 5:40 p.m. Pacific time.
All right, Jack, thank you. One of the worst parts of March Madness is hearing players, reporters, and even competitors mispronouncing Gonzaga and Spokane. But today, Coach Sampson made sure one reporter pronounced them correctly. Take a listen here.
Didn't you try to get a game with Gonzaga in 2021?
Gonzaga. It always burns me up when people say that. You know, it's like calling me Kevin. My name is not Kevin. My mother used to say, people would see my name and say, "Hey, Kevin," and she would say, don't let people call you Kevin. Your name is Kelvin. Make sure they pronounce your name right. So that's why my antennas go up with that. Same with Gonzaga.
Well, forward Ben Gregg is playing his 5th March Madness with the Zags. Sydney Berger spoke to Ben's dad, who always posts a picture of little Ben before his games. In about 20 minutes, we'll hear how this tradition all began and what it's like for him to watch his son play his final college games.
Well, one of the best wide receivers in WSU history is coming back to the Northwest after signing with the Seahawks today. River Cracraft spent the past 3 seasons with the Miami Dolphins, recording 23 receptions and 3 touchdowns. The 7-year NFL veteran played for Mike Leach and the Cougs from 2013 to 2016, racking up over 200 catches for 2,700 yards and 20 touchdowns for the Cougs. Cracraft is now the 2nd receiver from a Washington school to sign with the Seahawks this week, following Cooper Kupp of Eastern.
Here's a live look at Spokane Arena tonight, where in less than an hour, the Chiefs will be going up against the Seattle Thunderbirds in the final home game of the regular season.
Yeah, Mark Peterson joins us now. Yeah. Mark, it's going to be a soggy walk to the car for a lot of those fans.
It will be, and right now there's a bit of a break. That parking lot is getting full, by the way. You can see traffic backed up on Boone. But tonight, we're going to see that taper off around midnight, 1 o'clock. drying out for Saturday. So, I mean, really, we're looking pretty good as we take a look at our first alert weather on a Friday night. Rain and 38 into Coeur d'Alene. We've got 41 here. Cloud cover, more rain on the way. There is no doubt about it. Look at the current radar, and we see this coming through. Again, we're seeing just a bit of a break right now, but there's going to be more that's going to be rolling with us, and we're going to see heavier amounts of rain to the south and mountain snows into the higher elevation. So, rainy at times tonight, isolated thunderstorms possible. Heavy, hold on, is it going to happen? I got a sneeze building. Much warmer for next week. Let me get in close, just to much warmer next week. Here's our chance of rain tonight. We're going to see that 90% at 7 o'clock, decreasing to just about nothing by 1 a.m. It'll all be out of the way. We are going to see tomorrow morning starting off crisp, 34 degrees, 34 into Coeur d'Alene. Into Ritzville, it's going to be 33 degrees. We're going to warm up to 50, and we're going to see through the day some sunshine. It's going to be nice. Winds are going to be light, less than 15 miles an hour. Still breezy at times, but that 50 is a normal high for this time of year. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about that warming trend that we're going to be seeing. And trust me, I've got great news for the beginning of the week. Sunday, not so much.
All right, Mark, thank you. A Ferry County Sheriff's deputy is recovering tonight after being shot while responding to an emergency call. Deputy Edwin Lopez responded to what appears to be a murder-suicide in the Curlew area near the Canadian border. Investigators say the bodies of 2 people were found inside the home. Investigators believe Curtis Owens killed his girlfriend, Lisa Blakeney, who was a deputy district court clerk for Ferry County. Deputy Lopez knocked on the door and was shot when bullets came through that door. He is expected to make a full recovery.
President Donald Trump signed an executive order yesterday to dismantle the Department of Education. The question tonight, what does this mean for the future of education and for our kids? Jordan Smith shows us what's at stake.
Yeah, what does this mean for our kids? That's the question that teachers, principals, colleges all across the country are asking. And the answer is it's very hard to say. One of the main things that the DOE does is provide crucial funding for low-income students and students with disabilities. The administration insists that funding for Pell Grants, low-income students, and students with disabilities won't be interrupted, but they will be overseen by different government agencies. President Trump announcing today funding for special education and nutrition programs will now be handled by Robert F. Kennedy and the Health and Human Services Department.
They're going to be preserved in full and redistributed to various other agencies and departments.
But teachers and school officials everywhere are understandably skeptical and nervous. More schools than we realize are heavily reliant on this funding, like this elementary school teacher from Salt Lake City.
It's terrifying. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And nobody knows what it would mean for sure if the Department of Education went away. But I do know that as a teacher in a Title I school, my students not only receive but rely on the funds that we get from the federal government.
And we reached out to several local school districts to ask, what does this mean for their students? Again, no one really knows. Spokane Public Schools said this in a statement. The federal funding question is impacting some of our budgeting timelines as we and other districts across the country need to know what our revenue will be prior to creating next year's budget and staffing levels. And Trump is the first president to unilaterally try to dismantle this agency. Technically, only Congress has the power to shut down the Department of Education. So the question is now, how will they respond? In studio tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Jordan. While the Small Business Administration prepares to take on the responsibility of handling $1.6 trillion in federal student loan debt, the department announced today it will be eliminating 2,700 positions. That's 43% of staff. The layoffs will include temporary workers and voluntary resignations. The agency said its core service will not be impacted. Egg prices have dropped for the 4th week in a row.
What federal officials say is causing it coming up. Plus, the city of Spokane was supposed to have a plan to fund the COPS program at the start of the month, but it's still in limbo. Hear the executive director's plan to try to keep the organization alive if that funding runs out.
And this may look like your average neighborhood, but a local group is taking a different approach to making these homes more affordable. What they're doing to help middle-class families buy their first home, next on 4 News Now.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+. When it matters most, America turns to David Muir and ABC's World News Tonight.
Buckle up, Sam. It's Trunk Month.
It's time for the best deals across the full lineup. F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 48 years. We've got Maverick and Ranger fully prepared. This event is so big, it has something in it for everyone.
Why is a touchless wash best? Touchless doesn't smack and beat your vehicle with rags and raw brushes with the risk of scratches. Instead, we have multiple nozzles that deliver powerful 800 PSI water jets, covering everything from the sides, the roof, and even the undercarriage. Our mixtures remove dirt, grime, and those nasty, nasty street chemicals.
Car Wash Plaza, it's the best in the Northwest.
Idols breaking the internet. And Sunday, an emotional tribute.
Everyone was focusing on my dad's death, and I wanted to tell the story of his life.
It's so brave of you.
American Idol, new Sunday on ABC.
We know your time is valuable, and that is why at Colville Toyota, our goal is to get you in and out in an hour or less using our Express Maintenance Center.
With our pit crew approach and Toyota trained techs, your routine service happens fast.
Toyota Express Maintenance includes a safety inspection, oil changes, brake inspection, tire rotation, and much more.
Quality, speed, and confidence is what you can expect from Cobble Toyota's Express Maintenance Center. We're your small-town dealership with a big heart.
This year, turn your backyard into a fun, relaxing paradise. From Quality Spas of Spokane, the little store that sells the most hot tubs and swim spas. Made right here in the United States by Cal Spas.
92.9 CCU. CCU.
Dominate on another level. Beautiful move, and how about that advanced pass? Blocked by Aviat. Up the shoot, two-hand jam.
Watch Blazers versus Nuggets tonight at 7 on KXLY ABC4.
Buckle up, Sam. It's Trunk Month.
It's time for the best deals across the full lineup. F-Series, the best-selling trucks for 48 years. We've got Maverick and Ranger fully prepared. This event is so big, it has something in it for everyone.
Well, one local organization has taken a new approach to making owning a home in North Idaho more affordable. The Panhandle Affordable Housing Alliance is building 28 new homes in Post Falls near Ponderosa Elementary School. Once all this construction is complete, it will look like any other neighborhood.
What makes it special can be found in the paperwork. Alexandra Cohen-Yard shows us how this organization is helping middle-class families turn their dreams of home ownership into reality.
I grew up in generational poverty, but a lot of people have a leg up from their parents, and that's what PAHA kind of feels like, is that just little leg up.
A leg up to homeownership that Casey Doyle thought would not be a reality for a long time.
We were thinking, like, when we hit 50 and the housing market crashes, then we would buy.
That has unfortunately become the norm for many middle-income earners in Kootenai County. A University of Idaho study found that an average of 80% of residents in the area cannot afford to buy a home.
There's nothing on the market today that addresses our middle income and our upper middle income wage earners.
This new development hopes to address that by providing shared equity homes at below market value. The first 5 homes for Miracle on Britain are close to being complete. These are really for local workers here in Kootenai County. You can see that by these signs outside of every lot that tell you exactly who will be living there. This one will be a nurse. This one will be a teacher and electrician. To qualify, a household must earn $75,000 to $126,000 a year. Garrett Krates is another new homeowner through Miracle on Britain. His family is anxiously anticipating moving in.
Come out here every weekend and kind of take a peek at what they've done during the week, and just to be able to see the process and kind of get it closer and closer, and your heart just kind of thumps a little bit harder.
The hope is that this project helps tackle the affordability challenges so many North Idahoans are facing. Its ultimate goal is to help these families build wealth, but specifically in the place they call home. For Doyle, it's giving her the sense of security she has been longing for.
You feel like you are officially tied to the community you grew up in. Yeah.
In Post Falls, Alexandra Cohen-Yards, 4 News Now.
Outstanding. Okay, so here we go. Our rain is here again. It's going to last through tonight. We're going to see it taper off overnight, and Saturday's looking pretty darn good. We're going to have a full check of the forecast coming your way.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. So you want somewhere to play? We got you. And want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you want to do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
GMA, Tuesday morning, live. Amanda Knox. After living through the unimaginable, she comes live to GMA, the all-new morning exclusive. What does she want you to know? Amanda Knox, Tuesday morning, live on GMA.
Welcome to Parker Toyota, the Toyota Truck Center of the Northwest. Our inventory has never been better with a huge selection from stock to fully customized trucks.
And now you can choose between a gas or hybrid powertrain. So whether you're looking for great MPGs or a 12,000-pound towing capacity, we have the truck for you.
Check out the all-new Toyota Tacoma and Tundra at your locally owned Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Your home is more than a place, it's a feeling, a reflection of who you are. And at the Tin Roof, we believe furniture should do more than fill a room. It should inspire it. From timeless dining tables to sofas you can sink into and decor that tells your story, every piece is thoughtfully curated to make your space feel effortlessly you. Because it's not just furniture, it's where memories are made, where comfort lives, and where life happens. It's more than furniture, it's a feeling.
A show that pays tribute to one of the best Mexican-American performers of our time, Selena. Carla Perez, live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, May 8th. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Next, E.T. We're with TV's new Entourage, the cast of The Studio. Plus, Papa's House makes room for more Wayans.
It's just getting bullied all day. It's wonderful.
Next, E.T.
Watch Entertainment Tonight at a special time.
Being hydrated makes you a better person. I drink a gallon of water a day.
Your water drinking is irritating.
Next live, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Watch live Monday at 9, right after GMA.
Oh my God. Look at that.
Now, this electrical fire at a substation knocked out power to London's Heathrow Airport. It brought Europe's busiest airport to a standstill and had ripple effects across the globe. Passengers on a London-bound flight from Boston waited on the tarmac for 3 hours just to be brought back to the gate. Fire crews were able to get that fire under control, and a police spokesperson says foul play is not suspected here. Still, a counterterrorism unit is working with fire officials to help determine the cause. What a mess. All right. Mark Peterson joins us now once again.
Yeah, and Mark, I hear once we get through all this wet weather, we're going to have a really nice start of the week.
For a whole day, and then Sunday, and then next week's looking for you. Boy, you really jumped ahead. The weekend's gone. I'm just looking at Monday.
Well, when do we ever do
that? I know. Monday's looking very warm. Let's get through the weekend first, though. We'll be patient. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in our first alert weather right now. 41 degrees, 38 into Coeur d'Alene. Rain all over the place, all the way through Ritzville into Moses Lake, sitting at 47 degrees. Here's how Saturday stacks up. We're going to get through Saturday. It's going to be nice. We're going to have sunshine. We are going to need the sunglasses. Probably not going to need the rain slicker. About a 20% chance of an isolated shower, mainly north. But we'll see clouds moving in Saturday night, taking us into what will be a rainy Sunday. Now, the highs around our region, into the mid-40s into North Idaho. We've got near 50 into Colville. And then we're going to have temperatures, well, nearing 60 into the Tri-Cities, 57 degrees. We're going to be at 51. That's an average high for this time of year. We look at the radar, and yeah, we've got the rain all around us. This yellow and these reds showing heavier amounts of moisture pushing through the area. So if we put this in motion, we see this moving through tonight. Tomorrow looking really good about 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Still snow into the higher elevations. So we're going to see the traffic across the passes, both east and west, going to Seattle or Missoula. You're going to have winter weather. Remember, you've got to have chains in your vehicle, because if you get stuck, you're going to be in big trouble. And then throughout Saturday morning, Saturday, it's going to be great. It's then Sunday where we see another cold front come in. That's going to happen late Saturday night. We'll start to see it come in, and it'll cross over. So what does that mean? We look at, again, a quarter of an inch or so out of the system. This has been reworked a little bit. We get into Sunday, and then we're going to see it kick again starting at 3 a.m. We're expecting a ½ an inch. Now the computer models are sort of reworking it. Still an inch or so into Coeur d'Alene. Streams and those areas of lowland flooding could potentially be hit. We are going to see, again, with the mountain passes, there we go, 12 to 18 inches in Snoqualmie through Saturday, 18 to 24 in Stevens Pass. 4th of July, not so much, but Lookout Pass, 6 inches to potentially a foot. Here is our pattern. Now, we've got this cool wet weather here. Saturday, we're going to get a bit of a break. Sunday, it moves in again. But we start to see this high pressure building in from the southwest. That pushes up. That's going to maintain our beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, great. But we have another big system here. That's going to move in for the middle of next week. So we look at the planning forecast. Today, 51, 48 tomorrow. 50 is a normal high. Now, look at Monday. 11 degrees above average, 61, 66 on Tuesday, overnight lows into the mid-40s. And then Wednesday, that next cold front, that thing sitting off in the Pacific, leering at us, 68, but that's that in front of the cold air, that warm mass, and then 54 degrees, a really good chance of rain and thunderstorm potential for Wednesday, guys.
All right, Mark, thank you. Well, the price of eggs continues to drop. I bet you've noticed. The USDA says the wholesale price of a dozen eggs last week was $3.27. That is down 89 cents from the week prior. Federal officials cite higher inventory and a slower spread of bird flu as reasons for this price drop.
Well, city funding for Spokane's community-oriented policing services, or COPS, will expire at the end of this month, and the city still hasn't decided on a public safety partner yet. The executive director of COPS says that decision was supposed to be made 3 weeks ago. Derek Strom spoke with the executive director about what's next for the organization.
Derek, the city's extension for COPS expires in about 10 days, but the city hasn't put any options in front of the city council yet. COPS plans on keeping its doors open through the end of April, but beyond that, its future is in jeopardy. Now, COPS says it applied for the city's request for proposals months ago with the expectation a decision would be made by March 1st. City Councilman Jonathan Bingle says city administration has a couple organizations it's considering, but it hasn't put any options in front of the council. COPS says there's been little communication for the city on why it's taken so long. Now it's hoping to find a way to stay open whether or not it continues working with the city.
Still haven't heard who the award is. So whether we shutter, whether we go forward with a contract or a partial contract or no contract at all, it's going to be a super quick turnaround.
The city of Spokane says it plans on getting a recommendation to the city council shortly, but it did not give a timeline for when the decision will be made. A COP says it may fundraise to keep its doors open if it doesn't continue working with the city. Executive Director Jeff Johnson says he wants to partner with multiple corporate sponsors, but they're in the early stages of planning that out. Live in Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
All right, Derek, thank you. The Zags are chasing history in their second-round game against Houston. They want to beat a 1 seed in the tournament for the first time ever, as they also try to reach their 10th straight Sweet 16.
Gonzaga's Ben Gregg has been a part of the last 5 seasons with the Zags. Sydney Berger is live in Wichita for us tonight. And Sydney, this is really sweet. It's a family tradition for Ben's family. So what's it like to be in those final days of his basketball career?
Well, regardless of the outcome against Houston, it's still the end of an era for Ben Gregg. The senior has played in 5, and this is his final NCAA tournament. And now a Gregg family game day tradition might be on the line.
That's little Ben Gregg, before he was 6'10" Gonzaga forward Ben Gregg. Don't worry, sharing these isn't an invasion of Ben's privacy. His dad's already blasted them around the internet.
He's in a hot tub, and he's probably 7, and he's super skinny, a jet fighter, and he had a cowboy hat and sunglasses and a one-piece flight suit on.
What started as a post for family to remind them of game time and where to watch the Zags took off into a social media series Zags fans counted on.
And then I started adding pictures and then tagging it with Little Ben, and then it kind of just took off from there.
There's thought put into this, though. Ben on a Bulldog before the game against the Georgia Bulldogs, in a WSU jersey before a game against the Cougars, on a beach before the game against the Pepperdine Waves. And with Ben's college career winding down, his dad reflects on the journey little Ben took to become the Ben Gregg his family is forever proud of.
You know, the one thing that I've preached to him probably since he was little was do something for others. And he hooked up with Rick Clark and started doing stuff in the community. And a lot of people are, doing it for NIL. He was doing it to serve, right? I mean, and that's the part that I'm probably the most proud about, even over basketball and anything else that he's done.
I think we can all agree that it's probably every dad's primary function to figure out ways to embarrass their kids. But when I talked to Ben, he says he doesn't mind. He knows the worst of him's probably out there on the internet now, and he's glad that he could give fans a good laugh along the way. Tip-off between the Zags and the Houston Cougars is tomorrow right here at Intrust Bank Arena at 5:45. Live from the NCAA tournament, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Dominate on another level.
Beautiful move, and how about that advanced pass? Blocked by Aviat, up to shoot, two-hand jam.
Watch Blazers versus Nuggets tonight at 7 on KXLY ABC4. Watch KXLY Plus over the air on KXLY ABC4. Live updates, breaking news, weather every 10 minutes from the 4 News Now team. Get up to date on the information you need in just an hour. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. over the air on KXLY ABC4.
Yeah, definitely. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. See you next week.
Bye.
All right, thanks. All right, take care. Bye, everyone.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers get 2.9% APR for 72 months on this Silverado. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Hi, Alton Brown here at the top secret facility where we're building my farewell tour, Alton Brown Live Last Bite. Now, like all of our culinary variety shows, there will be a comedy, music, science, and an epic yet potentially dangerous culinary demonstration. Hi, 911. It's me again.
March 26th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets on sale now at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Post Falls ER and Hospital, open 24/7, providing premium emergency department care without the wait. From your child sports injury to urgent ambulance visits, Post Falls ER features low wait times, efficient procedures, and compassionate care. Plus, we provide state-of-the-art imaging, inpatient care, and accept all commercial insurances. Because in an emergency, every second counts and every life matters. Post Falls ER and Hospital, State Line near Cabela's, minutes away, hours faster.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Well, coming up tonight on Nightside, we all know sleep is essential to a happy and healthy life, but what do you do when your kids are having trouble sleeping? The signs experts are saying to watch out for and how to help your kids sleep like babies, which don't sleep at all, but sleep like, normal adults tonight at 11.
Well, this baby's starting to get a little more sleep, but not, well, I got to tell you, it's going to be great. Saturday, it's going to be 51 degrees, sunshine, beautiful. Sunday, it's going to be a great day to watch sports and read a book and take a nap. 48, low 60s Monday.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, looking pretty darn good.
All right. Thanks, Mark. And Mark's going to be back at 11.